is gonna cover swapping out the EF cluster with one out of like a 96 to 2000 Civic. Just see down there, big hole. It's got the old cable speed sensor out here. This one, this retainer clip. That you could use this with a case swap and just get your speed from the back of the cluster. There's a wire, I think it's yellow and red. Send that to the ECU. Mine's kind of acting funny in K Pro when I data log it, so I don't know. I just wanted to switch over anyways, but it'll work if you wanted to. And this is like an 02 to 04 RSX, or I think this one's out of the EP3. Yeah, transmission that came with it. So just the low frequency one. So I gotta stab that in there and start taking the cluster apart. Alright, I got the sensor in on there. I have a pain in the ass on mine because of these water lines. I had to loosen up the shift cables, undo some hose, band clamp, but all good. And just double check the wiring on the plug here. From the back it should be ground, power, signal. So I'll get that plugged in and then go over to the ECU and find the wire. Okay, down here at the ECU now. The way you wire it's going to depend on which ECU you have. This is the budget auto P&D ECU, so it has a separate, the speed sensor signal comes in through the here instead of plug A18. Yeah, this one. So yeah, if you run an auto, you depin this. When you depin it, make sure you lift up this back part. You can see where you pry it out. And don't just try to depin it from here. You'll mess it up. So release that lock and then depin it. But anyways, if you're just running like a PRB, just a regular ECU, leave this in place. You don't need to unplug it. And then go to your C101. Show you the pin out. So it's pin 3, vehicle speed sensor, blue, white. So you can see right there that blue, white on the top. Green, yellow, blue, white. That blue, white is spliced into this purple. So that's gonna send your signal to your new electronic cluster. So you where's mine? Mine's on this plug. So you'd run this plug to your, this yellow red with the cable cluster. This yellow red is your output, but with the new electronic cluster, this is no longer used, but you could use it to send the signal to the new cluster. That makes sense. So you just wire this to there, then we can reuse it, or you can run a separate wire and whatever you want to do. But I'm just going to use it there, and then since I have the auto ECU, I have to splice in my signal over to there. If you don't have the auto, you don't have to worry about that. You already have it here at A18, which from the front, it's the second row of the 4th pin right there. Or it'd be next to the green orange wire on mine. An empty spot in the second row. So now that's all spliced, I should be good to go. Can move on to the taking out the cluster, and I'm still waiting on my new one to come in, but get there. All right, got the cluster removed. Pretty easy. Just the top cover just has 4 screws, 2 in the back, 1 in each front corner. Pull it forward, release your plugs, 3 plugs. Then the cluster itself just has 4 screws. Boom, boom, boom. Release all your plugs, 2, 3 plugs, and squeeze this to remove Speedo cable. My wire colors are different than anything I can find online or in my books, unfortunately, but so I had to trace them out. If you need to trace out yours for some reason, just find like the bulb, look on the front, identify the bulb or whatever, and then find what it runs to. So like this, pin 8 is going to your right turn signal. And yeah, did that for all of them. Also, they'll have like lettering like TA right there, TAC, T right there, temp. It'll have an F down there for fuel, your power symbol. Yeah, had to do that. And I think I'm all good. Everything checked out, even though the wires are different colors. I'll add a better drawing for this, but I'm kind of lucky. So the plan now is to, well, there's a few ways to do this, I guess. To depin these, you have to pull up on this white lock, then down and up on the prong in there. Pull it out. So that one out. But I'm gonna solder on wires to the top of these and then run a connector right here, like a 20-pin connector, to connect to the new cluster. There are faster ways than doing it that way for sure. You could run butt connectors or T-taps or something, but it's your car, do how you want, but that's not what I want to do. Plus I'll be able to run both clusters. I could swap them out at any time. So yeah, I'll do it the long way, but the right way in my opinion. And now I'm just waiting on parts. So we'll continue once those get here. All right, here's the cluster I settled on. This one's out of the automatic CRVs. They're red, the Civics are gonna be blue. And if they're auto, they're gonna have their gear icons there. But I actually had a manual one out of a Civic I was gonna go pick up, and the guy just kind of ghosted me for 2 weeks and then asked if I still wanted it, but I already had this. And I bought one on eBay and they ended up cracking it and shipping, so I had to send it back. Got this one. It's only 9K over my miles, so I don't have to mess with it for emissions or anything. Eventually I'll put it back to the correct mileage. You could roll them back. What else? Yeah, it was just 50 shipped for this. It's probably your best option if you're gonna replace the faceplates or well, I'm going to replace the faceplate's bezel anyway, so yeah, you'll save. Manual ones are usually like probably around 120, 100 to 150 I see them for. Yeah, this was 50. I took off the tabs, the mounting tabs up here to try to make it fit a little better, a little higher to clear this trip button. I see people, they mount them in there and they kind of pinch to hold it. They pinch this trip button and I'll kind of hold it in there tight, but I don't know, it kind of stressed it a lot. I didn't want to do it like that, so I was just trying to figure out a way to mount it a little better. And then you can never mount it perfectly with the hood, because just the curvature of this, you're always going to have a little gap like right here. So keep that in mind. I'll get more into it when I actually mount it in there. And then just try to get your plugs with it. You could get them separate for like 20 bucks, but mine, they didn't include a lot of the wiring was really short, so I had to extend them all. And then I'm about to just feed them into this connector. You're gonna need, this is a 20-pin connector, but yeah, I think MX150 is what it's called. So yeah, I'm about to put that in, and then I guess the harder part is doing all this on the harness in the car. But yeah, that's where I'm at. And I mean, I didn't film any of it. There's not too much, just solder and crimp, but I'll continue on in a little bit. All right, so I'm about done with this plug. I still gotta do the other plug, but I just solder it on to the back end of the terminal. Don't go too far up where it won't clip in there. And then I'll just pin it to the female here, and I'll be able to plug everything in. And then it's just get down to mounting it. But that's how I'm doing it. You could, I guess you could cut and solder or splice, but this seems to be the easiest way to do it. All right, after you soldered all your wires on, you're gonna break it up into A and B. What's going on? The A plug and B plug. Well, I guess it depends how you wire this. I went at A's all running to the bottom, except for one to the top, because there wasn't enough slots, and all the B's run in order over here. Probably put steel shots of the pin out right at the beginning of the video or end of the video, so it's easy to find. And then I'm just gonna feed them through there, under there, and I put tape over the sharp edge. So yeah, now I just gotta strip them and put on this. I just marked them A and B because when you crimp them on, this is gonna be, pull this out. Oh, rotated 180 depending on if you're on the A or B. You can see. But yep. Just gonna strip all the wire and start feeding them into here. Make sure you release this. There's some tabs on the side. Just pry before you put in your terminals. Right, all the wiring's done. I tucked it under here. I just went through and replaced all the little bulbs, T5 bulbs. This one's a T10. And I'm adding a little foam padding to the bottom. So when I set it in here, it won't vibrate or anything. This has a little foam under it too, I can see. But I'm just gonna plug it in, put the hood on, see what it looks like. All right, she's finally put together. Just the only problem I have so far is the back of this plug hitting the corner of the mount on the cluster, I think. I might just lop that off, trim it a little bit so this can sit all the way in there. You can see the corners are a little visible, so I might put a little rubber there, clean it up. Other than that, pretty happy with it. Looks good. Yeah, I'll post all the link. I'll just post the link for the wiring because my writing's kind of shit. But show you it what it looks like all lit up. Bang. Yeah. Looks good. Happy with it. I might do that mod where you take out that dimming tint up on the top so it's brighter. Maybe when I replace the faceplate and get rid of these gear icons. Yeah, pretty excited. Just gotta go test it. Yeah, I was gonna make actual mounts. We'll see how the foam holding it in there holds up. It's pretty tight. As long as it doesn't rattle or move around, then I guess I'll just leave it at this point. Yeah, that's the cluster install. Oh god. I don't have much more to say. Just box this one away for now. Can always plug it in if I need to. And thanks for watching. I'll add the link for the wiring in the description. And ask any questions you need to in the comments. See ya.